What's going on? What's going on to I believe it's my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Twitter, and we're actually getting ready to go live. It's doing something kind of wonky right now here on IG. Always excited to make sure that we go live in all these different areas. And right now, it's giving me a fight. So y'all bear with me as we go live and do what it is we do best, and that is stream and give this good content. There we are. Coming on in. We got something good to talk about here today, of course. Welcome to my IG peeps. Finally, it just kept staying stuck in reels and would not let me go live in the other area. This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady. Always excited as usual to join you all to give you some wonderful content, discuss a topic that I truly believe is extremely helpful to each and every female CEO. And I like to put successful female CEO in front of it. Today, we are going to be talking about another topic that I believe is extremely helpful for any successful female CEO. I'm looking forward to jumping into it, and it's going to be all about customer retention. This is day 17, y'all. Day 17 of the Strategic Leadership Mastery. You all get a chance to hang out with me for a total of 61 days, and we are in day 17. But what I'm excited about this week is inside of what I'm talking about for our area of discussion, we actually are in the midst of a series within a series. Because Monday I started speaking on lead gen, lead acquisition, all these different things. And today we're on day 4 of the series inside of the series of day 17. And we're talking about customer retention. The reason why I plugged that in is because I've been dealing with several of my, actually back to back, 2 of my clients who struggled in those areas. And I said, you know what? This is part of leadership and we need to jump into it. Thanks so much for joining me, Mary Jane Makeup Co. And it looks like Tynico Victoria. I may be saying it wrong there on IG. I appreciate you all for joining me. Please feel free to participate, comment, share your thoughts on today's topic. Our topic of discussion is all about customer retention. For those of you all that are joining me over on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you all get a chance to see the things that are sliding on the screen. And our title is Client-Centric Interactions, Unveiling the Art of Personalized Engagement. We got to be client-centric. It's all about that customer retention, because if we can't keep them, we don't have a business, right? For those of you that don't feel comfortable with leaving the comments and sharing your perspectives or asking questions over in the comment section on any or all of my different social media platforms, feel free to join us over in our actual community. And that is the Get Your SaaS On community. You can join us there by going to GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. I do promise to answer any questions that you have or comment on your perspective. Listen, this is an interactive series. It's not just about me, it's about you. Okay. I'd love for you to showcase who you are. Give us your thoughts, your take on it. As long as we do it with respect, I'm really cool. Showcase your expertise. All right. So join us again over at the Get Your Sass On community, and you can go there by visiting GYSO community letstalkstrategies.com. Again, my name is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor. Y'all, I enjoy working with those 6 and 7 figure female CEOs. I like taking them from overwhelmed to literally putting their business on rinse and repeat. And we do this by going from strategy to implementation. After we have strategic sessions, we go through all the processes, and the end result is implementation. Because you can learn all the stuff you can learn all day long, but if you're not taking action, AKA you're not implementing, it means nothing. So, my goal here for this entire time is to literally help you master some things strategically. This is why our topic of discussion, well, the series is called Strategic Leadership Mastery. And we got tons of things we're going to be discussing to the end of the year. That's the 61 day. All right. So let's go ahead, y'all, and let's dive in to our topic of discussion. Again, client-centric interactions, unveiling the art of personalized engagement. I want to welcome you all for joining me yet again and just taking the time out of your busy schedule. Today is all about nurturing, because I believe nurturing, in my opinion, is truly the heartbeat of your business, the heartbeat of customer retention. As female CEOs, whether you're a consultant, service professional, a coach, you're a woman in business providing service to someone, building lasting relationships with your clients is not just a strategy, y'all. I know I'm all about strategies, but it's not just a strategies. It's a commitment to excellence. I'm sure you all should agree about that. It really, truly is. Now, before we dive into giving all the tips that I generally will give you and asking, and just giving you a framework of things that you should stay on top of as a successful business CEO or female CEO, let's kind of go into a point of reflection. I've got a question to ask you, and I need you, if you would, answer it in the comment section. It's okay to answer it in the comment section. If you don't quite know how to answer it, and if you have some questions about the questions that I'm asking you, say that in the comment section. And my question for you is kind of simple, and that is, how do you currently approach customer retention in your business or in your leadership journey? Because as a female CEO, you are considered a leader. How do you currently approach your customer retention? What challenges have you faced, and what successes can you share in the midst of that? Share that with us. I promise you, there's someone else out there that possibly may be struggling with that and don't know how to deal with it. And what you share may be very helpful. So that's our moment of reflection that I would love for you to participate in reference to telling us this. Share with us down in the comment section. Okay. Now, there's some quick strategies. I'm going to give you some tips, but I want to share with you all my particular way that I deal strategically with my customer retention. And then I'm going to couple it with some tips that you can take, some takeaways. Now, for me, as I deal with customer retention in its most strategic way, let's talk strategies. I look at the importance of having proactive issue resolution in place. What does that mean in its most elementary terms? Address any concerns, y'all, or issues that your clients may have swiftly, quickly. Okay? You want to demonstrate, you need to demonstrate a proactive approach or proactive commitment to your customer satisfaction. Even sometimes when that customer is wrong, there's a way that you need to go about it. So make sure you have proactive issue resolution in there. Address their concerns swiftly, even if you have to tell them no, because sometimes we have to tell them no. That's one of the ways that I deal with as a portion of customer resolution. Now, again, it goes without saying, we've been talking now, like I said, for 17 days, and I'm constantly talking about feedback as well. Regular feedback channels should be in place. If they're not, I have those in my customer retention thing. I talked earlier about, or the other day, about establishing those open feedback channels, feedback loops, ways for them to communicate, to understand your customer's experience, because we think we know a whole lot and we think it should be a certain way, but when you hear it from your customer's perspective, you can get so much out of it. So make sure that you have some sort of feedback channel in place, that you can understand the customer's thought process, their experiences, so you can identify those potential challenges, y'all, that may escalate. That's going to happen, guaranteed to happen, I promise you. Also, another piece or portion that I've implemented inside of my customer retention strategy is that I make sure no matter what, that I still continue to have some sort of personalized communications in there. Again, there's nothing like somebody being upset or having a concern. And when they click and they go into wherever you have them communicating with you at a help desk or whatever it is, whatever place they're communicating, and they get a blanket type response back, they're already upset or have some questions or some concerns. So you need to remember to personalize that, even that part. You want them to feel like they matter. Tailor your communications to each customer, acknowledge their specific needs. And sometimes it gets kind of hard, especially if you have those like bots in there. Train that bot to do whatever you needed to do to make sure it speaks directly to that person's specific need. And if it can't be, make sure you have some drop downs, something in there that you're still making sure that you're giving them some sort of way to communicate with you, and that you're communicating back with them in a way that they feel like they matter and that they just hadn't just turned into a number. All right. Now, another way that I deal with customer retention in my business is that I make sure that I have additional value added services, especially, unfortunately, you know how when you go to AT&T or Verizon and then you tell them you're getting ready to leave them because these prices are crazy and you just don't appreciate how service is going, they send you over to the customer retention team, right? You need to have something like that in place too. And that may come in the shape or form of another additional service or a perk that you can add that has value to your services or your offerings. This is definitely going to what? Increase that overall satisfaction for your customers. For those of you that are just now joining me, my name is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady. And we are talking about client-centric interactions, unveiling the art of personalized engagement. In a nutshell, it's all about client retention. All about that. Hey, Travis Michelle, I am Marjorie. And oh, I also see I am Lauren Ballard. Several people joining us today here on IG. Thanks so much for joining me. And again, our topic of discussion is all about client retention. You are here for day 17 of the Strategic Leadership Mastery. We are going to master some skills that we need because we are all successful female CEO leaders. And as I always say in all the past or the previous things that I've discussed, the time is now to stop the patty cake mode. And so I'm in here giving you all the good ways that you can lead and you can master certain things so that you can continue to grow your business and get it to the point that we know you want to keep it, get it to. And that's business growth, constant success. Right now, I'm in the midst of kind of sharing with you all some of my strategies, the things that I have in my customer retention um, toolkit, I guess I would say. Right. So don't forget about that fourth one that I mentioned, adding value services to your customer retention toolkit. You really need it. How can you help them? One, how can you keep them and encourage them not to leave? You may have to have some other added things in there to position yourselves to make sure you let them know you're trying to appease them. Now, if it gets a little crazy, you still got boundaries that you have to keep in place. Now, another thing that I always remind myself of, and that I'm reminded by anyone that I'm being coached by, is no matter where you are in your business, never feel like you have arrived. Improvement is always something that should be on the radar constantly. So continuous improvement regularly, y'all. Evaluate and enhance your services, your products. And you need to do this based on your customer feedback, right? This is going to ensure that your offerings are aligned with the evolving needs. There's a lot going on in my business structure right now. I'm dealing with a lot of different types of services now. So I have to make sure that things align with them. Revisit that often. And it's okay to revisit them, in my opinion, quarterly. So that you can make sure you giving yourself the checkup from the neck up. Now, another uh, item or portion that I have in my personal customer retention toolkit is that I, on purpose, with purpose, make sure that I continually, consistently educate my customers. I educate them on my offers. I educate them on my resources. I do this in several different ways. It can be something as simple as my social media posts, my blog articles. I make sure they understand the benefit of the product or service. This fosters deeper connection, y'all. Not just a connection, it gives them understanding. They need to know what your service or or the product that you're providing, what does it do for them? What's in it for them, not just about you. So remember, a proactive and personalized approach as it pertains to your customer retention portion of your business, coupled with a commitment to continuously improve, can significantly, y'all, contribute to overcoming those obstacles that you're going to come up against as it pertains to customer retention. Now, I got some practical tips. I gave you mine, but I got some practical tips that you may want to use. And I think my toolkit kind of still lends to some of the practical tips. If you don't have your sheet of paper and pencil, I would encourage you to do that. And let's go ahead and let's write down some practical tips that you, that female CEO, consultant, or service provider, should focus on as it pertains to customer retention. And practical tip number one, I mentioned it a little earlier in mine, is something that I do. Personalized engagement. Tailor the interactions to the unique needs and preferences of each of your clients, right? Because you make them feel valued and understood. It's really true. Now, a practical tip number two, proactive communication. Stay ahead of the client's needs, right? Because you're proactively staying ahead of it. You're maintaining that open line of communications because you're anticipating their concerns and you're addressing them promptly. Not 5 days later, 10 days later, 7 days later. I don't know how to answer this. They're going to be upset and I need to answer this the right way. These things have to be in place as a leader. I'm encouraging you to be proactive in your communications. Listen, as people unfortunately complain, as people address their concerns, this is an opportunity for you to take that information, put it in the FAQs. You can put it on your website, but have it where it's readily available that you can address people and not have it where they're saying, oh, she got my money, but she doesn't know how to answer me now. No, deal with it. Problems are going to come as a business owner, and we have to put our big girl what undies on, and we gotta face it head on. We gotta hit it head on. So keep those lines of communication open and anticipate their concerns and address them promptly. Now, another practical tip that every female CEO, coach, consultant, service provider should do again is remember that continuous value addition, regularly assess, enhance the services or the products that you're doing. Make sure you offer insights, resources, exclusive benefits that keeps the customer engaged. With digital CEO systems, I generally provide an onboarding service when people come in on that side of my business. They get onboarding, they also get office hours, and most people don't even show up. And then they complain later on. But I have certain things in place that I can make sure that I'm providing that top-notch service to them, but I can't control if they don't show up because I know I do my part. If something does come around, I can address them in a professional way with those boundaries. So make sure you have that continuous value addition into your business process and go back and listen to these practical tips. And if you're not implementing them, give yourself a checkup to the neck up and see what it is you possibly need to be implementing that will help you with your customer retention. Another really, really good one, which is practical tip number four, is relationship surveys. Surveys are not dead. No, they're not. Periodically, y'all gather. This falls up under that word feedback again, but this time in a way of a survey. Periodically gather feedback through surveys so you can understand your client satisfaction and areas of improvement. We all need areas of improvement. Use that data or data, depending on what side of the world you're on, to refine your services. Listen, they tell you what's going on. And when they're telling you what they're feeling like or what's going on, they're actually sharing with you the types of services or the type of products that they may be in need of. or sharing with you with something that you may need to get somebody else to help you with. It's just part of it. So utilize relationship surveys. I like to put relationship in front of it because even when I'm doing my surveys and I'm asking you questions, I'm building rapport, I'm developing a relationship, and I'm trying to get some information from you so that I can make sure that I am providing you with the things that you need, not just with the things that I think I want you to have. Now, have you ever considered this practical tip, which is number 5, loyalty programs? Who out here has loyalty programs? If you don't have loyalty programs, try to get some in place. Implementing loyalty programs or exclusive perks to reward and retain your clients. Listen, it's golden because it makes them feel appreciated, for this continued partnership. They're in partnership with you, whether you want to call them a partner or not. This is a client. They paid into something. You all are working together. You're operating in a spirit of service. You're partnering with them to take their business and their life to the next level. Consider loyalty programs. I believe they're going to be extremely helpful for you. And again, when it comes to someone having to make a decision, you may have something, another person may come up and have the same thing. But that perk, that loyalty program, that extra valued something may just be that one thing that keeps them with you instead of them jumping ship. Now, also consider for practical tip number 6. Again, when we deal with our resolving our issues and with care, and this is actually the last one for the practical tip, when challenges arise, address them with empathy and urgency, not just addressing them fast. Because a lot of times I know you've been in places where you go and you got a complaint. I had several earlier today. I was out and about, had to go to my daughter's school, had to address some teachers, had a lot going on. And the teachers just kept giving excuses, and I had to redirect them professionally, but very firm, and let them know that this issue hasn't been resolved because the problem I'm having is just because you're the adult and they're children, you still don't have room to be rude and disrespectful because these students are your clients, they're your customers, and we had to treat them accordingly. And even though some of the students may be wrong, there's still a way that you go about it. So as you're resolving that last practical tip, as you're resolving whatever concerns or issues that your clients may have, resolve these issues with care, with empathy, yet urgency. We got to do it. How you handle issues can significantly, y'all, impact your client's trust and loyalty. It's just real. It is what it is. Now we're going to lose some people periodically. I mean, that's just going to happen. And some of the people we lose, we want them to go, right? But if you know that you did as best you know how, then that relationship could end with you having the peace that you know you need to have as a successful business owner, because just some people you just can't please, right? Now, as we conclude with this session, this segment of the Strategic Leadership Mastery Series, a series within a series as we discuss customer retention, remember that our clients are not just a transaction. You know how that makes you feel. They're not just a transaction. They are relationships that we cultivate. So now you know I got some homework, right? I got some homework. I had some people tell me I hate to hear you use the word homework, but it's real deal. Listen, we are building businesses. And when we're building and growing and making the shifts we need to do, sometimes we got to roll up our sleeves and we got to get down to the nitty gritty. So I would love for you to share inside the comment section. What's your thought? What's your take as it pertains to customer retention? What is it that you do to retain your customers? Provide some tips. We'd love to know. It's just not a Danette show. I love to engage with you all. I'd love for you to share your area of expertise in the comment section. Give us your reflections, your thoughts on it. If you're that woman, that female CEO that does not like leaving the comments out here in the open, remember to visit us over in the Get Your Sass On community. You can join our community if you're not a member by going to GYSO community.letstalkstrategies.com. Again, that's GYSO community www.letstalkstrategies.com. Y'all, I'm always sweating when I come up in here. I'd love to have you join me. This is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady. And I hang out over one of my favorite places. It's called letstalkstrategies.com. I'd love for you to hang out with me over there as well. There's products, there's services, there's ways that I can truly help you go from that space of overwhelmed in your business to putting it on rinse and repeat. In a nutshell, I work with you to go from strategy to implementation in your business. I'm all about helping you truly get your SaaS on in your business. And I love doing it in a way that's simplistic. So I'm all about simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining your business for growth. Hence the reason we are here for a total of 61 days. We're actually on day 17 for the Strategic Leadership Mastery Series. Remember to join me on tomorrow for day 18 as we explore more innovative leadership type things. I'm sure it's going to help you take your life and your business to the next level because you can't separate it, right? You just can't. Until then, y'all, make it a great day. Make sure that your client relationships are enduring, that they are cultivating, that they are filled with empathy, but you put some boundaries around that thing, right? Make it a part of your strategic vision. Again, this is Danette, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady. Y'all take care and thanks so much for joining me. Oh, I see we got some comments over here in IG. I'm going to end the recording here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And I want to give anyone that's over on IG, Instagram, an opportunity to come up on stage, share your thoughts, share your perspectives as it pertains to customer retention. If you'd like to join me on stage, join me over on my IG page under the Strategy Lady. And we'd love to have your perspective. Come on over and share. Take care.